A retired mechanic I used to go to for oil changes told me something that stuck with me. He said most engines in America don't die from wear. They die from neglect and bad habits, and small mistakes that most drivers don't even realize they're making. He pointed to a Toyota pickup in his lot with 350,000 miles on the original engine. Owner was a customer of his for 20 years, drove it like a regular vehicle, still running on the same block it left the factory with. The secret, he told me, wasn't some special miracle additive. It was a $3 habit combined with knowing what actually kills engines early. And once you understand the small handful of things that drive engine longevity, you can easily get a modern engine to last 200,000 or 300,000 miles without doing anything extraordinary. Let me walk you through what actually matters, what snake oil additives don't do, and the real-world approach to getting decades of life out of an engine. First, let's get straight on what kills engines. There's no single cause. There's a handful of common ones, and understanding them helps you avoid them. The biggest is oil failure. Engine oil serves multiple functions. It lubricates moving parts, it cools critical components, it cleans the engine by suspending soot and debris, and it neutralizes acidic byproducts of combustion. As oil ages, it breaks down chemically, loses its lubricating properties, and accumulates wear particles and combustion contaminants. Old oil can't protect the engine, so metal-on-metal contact causes gradual wear that becomes catastrophic over time. The second major killer is heat. Engines that overheat, even briefly, suffer permanent damage. Warped heads, blown head gaskets, cracked blocks in severe cases. Heat accelerates oil breakdown. Heat warps metal. Heat kills gaskets and seals. The third killer is short trips. Most engine wear actually happens in the first few minutes after a cold start. When oil hasn't fully circulated, cold metal parts haven't expanded to their working clearances, and combustion byproducts condense into the oil instead of evaporating out. An engine that takes short trips of 10 minutes or less spends most of its life in this damaging condition. An engine that takes longer trips at operating temperature lives much longer. The fourth is contamination. Dirt in the air filter, water in the fuel, coolant in the oil from a small internal leak. Each of these progressively damages engine components. With those four causes in mind, the longevity strategy is straightforward. First, oil changes on time, every time, with quality oil. The $3 habit the old mechanic was pointing at is simple. Change your oil with synthetic oil at 5,000 to 7,500 miles, no matter what the car's onboard system tells you. A lot of modern cars have oil life monitors that suggest 10,000 or 15,000 mile intervals. That's technically within manufacturer spec, but over the life of the engine, shorter intervals give you significantly better longevity. The incremental cost is maybe $10 to $30 extra per year, depending on how much you drive. The benefit is dramatic. Use full synthetic oil, not synthetic blend. Full synthetic. It lasts longer, handles heat better, and provides better cold start protection than conventional oil. The price difference is small, maybe $5 to $10 per change, and the engine protection is significantly better. Use a quality oil filter. The cheapest filter at the parts store is often a fiberglass or paper element that traps debris poorly. A quality filter like Mobil 1, Wix, or a manufacturer OEM filter costs only a few dollars more and provides much better filtration. Over the life of an engine, quality filtration matters. Second, let the engine warm up, but not by idling. The long-standing advice of letting your car idle for 5 minutes on a cold morning is actually outdated. Modern engines warm up faster under gentle load than under idle. Start the engine, wait 30 seconds to a minute for oil to fully circulate, then drive gently for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Avoid high RPMs and heavy acceleration until the temperature gauge shows the engine is at operating temperature. This approach warms the engine faster than idling and doesn't waste fuel. Third, address heat issues proactively. Check your coolant level regularly. Once every couple of weeks is not overkill. If you see coolant loss, investigate immediately. Don't ignore an engine temperature gauge that starts to creep up. Pull over, let it cool. Figure out why before continuing. Replace coolant on schedule, typically every 3 to 5 years depending on the type. Old coolant loses its corrosion-inhibiting properties and becomes acidic, eating away at cooling system components. Flush the cooling system if you notice coolant has gone brown or rusty looking. Brown coolant means corrosion is happening inside the system. A flush and refresh with new coolant extends cooling system life significantly. Fourth, combat short trip damage if your driving involves lots of short trips. If you primarily use the car for short commutes or errands, consider taking it for a longer highway drive once a week or so. 20 minutes of highway driving lets the engine reach full operating temperature, boils off any condensation in the oil, and evaporates fuel contamination from the crankcase. This one habit can add significant life to an engine that would otherwise be stuck in short trip damage mode. Alternatively, shorten your oil change interval if short trips are unavoidable. 5,000 miles or 6 months, whichever comes first, is a good schedule for short trip vehicles. Fifth, maintain the air filter and fuel system. Replace the Yaste air filter on schedule, usually every 15 to 30,000 miles. Use quality fuel from reputable stations. Add a bottle of fuel system cleaner to a tank every few months, or at every oil change. A bottle of Techron, or a similar fuel system cleaner, costs $5 to $10 and keeps injectors and valves clean. Sixth, pay attention to the oil. Check the dipstick once a month. Look at the color. Fresh oil is honey-colored. Midlife oil is darker brown. Black oil is due for change. Milky or chocolate-colored oil indicates water or coolant contamination and needs immediate attention. Smell the oil. Burnt oil smell means overheating. Gasoline smell means a fuel system issue. Pay attention to oil consumption. A healthy engine uses very little oil between changes. If you're adding significant oil between changes, it means the engine is burning or leaking oil, and both issues need diagnosis. Seventh, don't ignore small problems. A check engine light that stays on. A rattling noise that starts and doesn't go away. A loss of power. Slight engine shudder on cold starts. These are the early warning signs that something is developing. Caught early, these issues are often inexpensive repairs. Ignored, they become engine destroying. Eighth, transmission fluid matters too, separately from engine. Oil. Follow your manufacturer's schedule for transmission fluid changes. On cars with automatic transmissions, skipping this maintenance is one of the top causes of transmission failure, which is often as expensive as engine replacement. Now let me address the things that do not meaningfully extend engine life, despite marketing. Oil additives that claim to reduce wear. Most of these are either ineffective or, in some cases, actually counterproductive. Modern oils are formulated with comprehensive additive packages balanced for engine protection. Adding more of something doesn't help, and some additives disrupt the oil's chemistry. Stick with quality oil and change it on time. Engine flushes that claim to clean sludge. For engines that have been well maintained, flushes are unnecessary and sometimes dangerous, as they can loosen deposits that then block oil passages. For engines that have been poorly maintained with severely old oil, a flush might help, but it might also cause immediate engine failure by freeing debris that was holding seals together. Avoid flushes unless a mechanic specifically recommends one for diagnosed sludge. Premium fuel in a regular spec car. If your car is designed for 87 octane, using 91 or 93 octane fuel provides no benefit. Follow the manufacturer's recommendation. The exception is cars spec'd for premium, where using regular is a long-term engine stressor. Extreme extended oil change intervals. Manufacturer specs of 10 to 15,000 miles are achievable, with perfect conditions and full synthetic oil, but for longevity past 200,000 miles, shorter intervals win. The economic comparison. A quality synthetic oil change costs about $60 to $100 twice a year for most drivers, versus a $500 or more failure somewhere down the road. Over 20 years of ownership, good maintenance costs $2,000 to $4,000 in oil changes and filters, and saves $20,000 to $40,000 in avoided repairs and delayed replacement. One more principle: listen to your car. It speaks in subtle signs. A new vibration, a slightly different sound, an unusual smell after driving. The drivers who catch issues early extend engine life dramatically. The ones who drive until something breaks are the ones paying for replacement engines. Driving style matters too. Aggressive driving, with constant heavy acceleration and braking, shortens engine life through heat and mechanical stress. Smooth, steady driving lasts longer. Environmental factors. If you park in a garage, your engine lives longer than one exposed to extreme heat and cold cycles. A simple garage parking habit alone extends engine life. And finally, respect the warm-up cycle in cold weather. Engines start much colder in winter, and cold oil is thick oil. Give it time to circulate before asking for performance. So there's no magic oil that makes engines last 300,000 miles. But there's a consistent pattern of practices that, applied over the life of a vehicle, can easily get most modern engines past 250,000 miles in good working order. $3 habit at each oil change. Quality parts. Attention to warning signs. Appropriate driving. That's the real secret. If you want your current vehicle to last as long as possible, start today. Check your oil. Note the next oil change date. Switch to full synthetic if you haven't. Find a good independent mechanic you trust. These simple steps, done consistently, add years and hundreds of thousands of miles of reliable service. No magic required.